And starting off with question number one, this is a great intro to it. Andy, you have talked about how being a great entrepreneur is a route to financial and career success that is often overlooked as opposed to the glorification of being an entrepreneur. What advice would you give a recent university graduate who is on their first day of full-time work in the real world so that they can be the best entrepreneur as possible, especially if the company they are joining is remote friendly and opportunities for in-person connection with other team members and managers are limited? How do you become the best entrepreneur?
All right. Well, first of all, becoming the best entrepreneur that's the same method that we talk about becoming the best in anything. Okay. So I'm going to give you a real practical tip here, but becoming the best is becoming the best in anything. If you want to become the best popsicle salesman, it's the same fucking route as becoming the best entrepreneur, as becoming the best athlete, as becoming the best musician, as becoming the best is becoming the best. It's all the shit you all heard. You've heard me talk about it for 10 fucking years. Here's the tip though. When you're new in an organization, this is extremely, extremely important. All right. When you are new in an organization, a lot of people come into an organization and they try to like feel it out and they try to like get comfortable. And I understand this, right? Because it's scary to go to a new thing. It's like going to a new school, right?
You gotta learn 400 different names.
Totally
they gotta learn one.
It's intimidating. It's scary.
Yeah.
Get that. But where people fuck this up is they come in, they get too comfortable. Okay. So they find the friendly people, they find their little group inside the group.
Right.
And they sort of get comfortable and then they start to like work the same way that all these other people work. And they start to kind of follow their lead. And what happens because of that, well, in most companies, and this is not my companies, but in most companies, what ends up happening is you end up falling in line with people who really aren't that great of employees and you follow their path. Okay. So it's kind of like joining the cool kids in high school. Like the cool kids don't really ever amount to much. Everybody knows that. All right. So let me offer you a very practical, very real tip from someone who's ran companies, big ones, for a long time and employed thousands of people. You have a very unique opportunity when you first join an organization to stand the fuck out. And you should utilize that. All right. And what I mean by that, it doesn't mean come in dressed up like fucking Superman to stand out. What I mean is do not let yourself get caught in the churn. All right. As soon as you get comfortable, as soon as you recognize what needs to be done, as soon as you understand what you're supposed to do, go do it and do it so fucking hard and so fucking good that the people who just hired you are like, they're convinced that they just hired Michael Jordan of entrepreneurs. Okay. You only have one chance to fucking make that impression. And a lot of people, they don't do that because it's uncomfortable to do, but understand that the uncomfortable things are the things that lead to the biggest rewards. Okay. So if you're new in an organization, utilize the opportunity to stand out by doing an undeniably great job. And at the very least, show undeniably great initiative and drive and skill set, even and willingness to learn is a big thing too. And just do what you can. Where can you help? What can you do? And by the way, this is all on top of you doing your little job perfectly. All right. And if you can do that, dude, your chances of moving out of the churn quickly are drastically improved. And that's the goal as an entrepreneur. Because like, dude, entry-level positions are churn. All right. There's people that come, there's people that go. There's people that come, there's people that go. You do not want to, you want to spend as little amount of time in those roles as fucking possible. And you want to display skills that are valuable as quickly as possible. And you want to display initiative as quickly as possible so that you stand the fuck out. Because if you can do that right away, you could skip a major long step that most people have to like go through. Because what most people do, like I said in the beginning of the question, is they get comfortable, they start hanging out with the people, and a lot of people don't even get planted into their company because they fall in with the wrong people and they end up getting cut out.
Now you're marked for the rest of your tenure.
So, dude, it's very, very important for you to understand this. No matter what organization you're joining, you have a tremendous opportunity at the beginning to make a ridiculous impression in the first 4 to 6 months. Okay. And then you also have to be realistic about the timeline.
Yeah.
4 to 6 months of that kind of effort can set you 10 years ahead. Real talk. Because, dude, like, just using my place as an example, there's people that come here that start off in the gym or start off, maybe back in the warehouse. And they do such a great job that I notice them, or one of the senior leadership notices them. And we're like, okay, that motherfucker right there, that's a winner. Let's earmark that person to move through here, and let's move them up quickly.
Yeah.
All right. And so while it doesn't always work that way, sometimes you move people through and then they fucking suck because they quit trying right away. So that's the second part of the lesson, is once you get past that churn, keep going.
I must say, you got to maintain that standard.
But dude, the amount of success that you could have quickly is drastically underestimated, because people think because your grandma and your grandpa and your mom and your dad all said, oh, I got to be there for 10 years and then you get rewarded. There is no reward for sticking around a place for an X amount of time anymore. That's not how the fuck it works.
Yeah.
People got to win, especially in a challenging economy like we're entering now. They have to win. They're looking for people that want to win. They're looking for killers. And if you could come in and be a killer right away, you can fast track your own career tremendously by jumping through the churn as fast as possible. Yeah. That's what I would recommend.
Yeah, I love that, and the importance on maintaining that standard once you get there, right? Because, like, I mean, how many?
It's not maintaining. It's not maintaining, bro. It's not maintaining. It's continuing to accelerate the standard.
Yeah.
Just like I talked back on the last Q&AF, where I talked about standards and meeting high standards, and then people expecting those high standards. It's the same, just like I explained in the last one for companies.
Yeah.
It's the same for employees. Once you've branded yourself, in my mind, as a high standard individual, that's the expectation.
Right.
So now, instead of, from an entrepreneur, I'm the customer because I'm the fucking guy making the decisions about your career path. Okay. So you're the one, you have to fucking make me believe that you are who the fuck you're pretending to be. And the way that you do that is by continuing to level up and level up and level up and level up and level up. The minute you go into maintenance mode, you stop. Because if you really think about how careers progress, like really fucking stop and think about this. Usually what people do is they progress through, they get one job, they get the next job, they get the next job. And the reason that they stop progressing isn't because they stop progressing. It's because they get to a job that they just don't really perform that well at, and they stay there. So really it's like accelerate through the hierarchy of jobs until you get to one that you suck at and you stay there forever. And that's not what you want to do, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to continue to up that standard and get better and better and better and better. And it's a lifelong journey. It's not something you can do in 6 months.
Yeah.